What is up, everyone? Barricade here and bringing you guys some pretty cool news. In a recent interview with Phil Spencer, Spencer said that he had various discussions with Rod Fergusson and stated that he felt like the series became a parody of itself as the games went on, which is kind of true. If you remember in the first game, it had this really dark and insane, crazy, creepy tone, and as the games went on in the series, it kind of lost that type of darkness and that type of eeriness. And by the time it hit Judgment, it was kind of not even really scary or dark at all. And I kind of agree with Phil Spencer. He was being pretty honest. It's true. It really did become a parody itself. I remember playing the first Gears of War game and actually being kind of scared of the Locust. I remember being scared of the Wretches, being scared of the Berserker, being scared of all the locusts that would appear. But by the time Judgment came out and how the atmosphere for that game was, it just really didn't have that airiness. It just really didn't. And within those various discussions with Ferguson, Spencer even stated that he just really wants it to return to that dark and eerie tone, that he wants it back. And he even says that the name Gears of War really felt like it meant something to what the game was about, and we need to get back to that. That's just something he really wants. He really wants the series to return to that. And honestly, I agree with him. I really do. Imagine a new Gears of War on the Xbox One with these new crazy graphics, but instead of being full-on action game that isn't really scary at all, it actually being this really dark and eerie game that shows the true identity of the Locust, that really should be expressed properly. I've always felt like the Locusts were these crazy demonic beings, these not like simple aliens that shoot guns. They felt like demons almost. They would capture people and torture them. They were very, very evil. They were like the embodiment of evil to me. They had this really crazy, crazy tone that they didn't care about anything else. They didn't have any shred of humanity, and anything that was in their way would be destroyed. And that's what the type of tone Gears of War 1 had. Gears of War 1 had it like you were fighting these demons. They didn't even feel like aliens or whatever people want to call them. They felt like these crazy demons that would kill you on sight, and there was no way to escape them. And you were fighting for your life, almost. And I really would love for them to make a Gears of War game that took place post E-Day, not after Gears of War 3. People for some reason want it after Gears of War 3, which doesn't make sense seeing as the Locust actually died after Gears of War 3. Many people believe that they're still alive, but no. After Adam Phoenix's machine went off, it killed all the Locusts. So after Gears of War 3, technically all the Locusts are gone. So they would need to go back to prequel territory and make a game that took after, Judgment or during or whatever, and make it post E-Day and really show the Locust and what they got. And give this really eerie tone, bring back the Krill, bring back this crazy, eerie feeling that the Locust can pop out of nowhere and hurt you and kill you and rip you apart like the way the Gears of War 1 made it feel like. I remember playing Gears 1 and just seeing, how the wretches were. They would rip people to pieces. The Berserker was this unstoppable monster that would break you. And then you'd go outside in the middle of the night and it was the Krill. And there was no escaping the Krill. If there was no light, you were dead. And that was just an amazing feeling that the Gears of War 1 had. And even though Gears of War 2 and 3 were really awesome, it didn't really have that type of eeriness to it. The only part I can really think of that had really crazy eeriness was in Gears 2 when you saw the sires, or like the part when the people were being tortured and stuff. Those are probably like the only major scenes that really had a really dark and eerie tone to it. But Gears of War 3 kind of lacked it too, because Gears of War 3 didn't really have anything too bad. Yeah, added the Lambent and stuff and added the whole mutation and all that crazy stuff, but it didn't have that epic and dark and eerie tone. I keep coming back to that because that's what Gears of War needs to expand upon itself. Relive that horrible, dark, and feeling of desperation and hopelessness that the Locusts gave the humans and during the war. Only 1 year after E-Day, and the huge war killed most of the humans and was pushing the humans to this huge, horrible sense of desperation that caused them to use the Hammer of Dawn and pretty much kill a huge portion of the human race that was still barely surviving. And they could really expand upon that. They really can. They really can show how bad the locusts are. The locusts, that's why they got their name, because they were so powerful that it was the equivalent of a locust swarm killing everything. Back in ancient times when the locusts would kill people or plants or whatever that would cause many deaths and plague. And this is what the locusts felt. I remember watching an old video that was kind of like a creepy video that they made for Gears of War 1, and it says that they call them the locusts due to that the death count is only been seen in horrible cases of plague. And that's what they really need to do. They really need to expand the locusts and make everyone remember why that they are such a feared enemy. And that's really what they could do to really get fans, because if they make this dark and scary, eerie game, it would really draw people into it. And of course, an awesome multiplayer would be awesome. Come on, guys. Come on, Rod Fergusson. You guys can do it. Please make a good multiplayer. Well, anyways, guys, I ran out of time here. If you guys like this video, please definitely hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think. Do you want the Gears of War for the Xbox One to be a dark and eerie game, or are you kind of over that type of feeling now? But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and take it easy.